Hi, I'm Melissa Stylianou, and I'm a jazz singer based here in New York. I moved here from Toronto 5 years ago, and I've released 3 records on my own so far, and they've all been really well received. Back in the late 90s, I was doing my first jazz festival gig in Toronto, and Harry Connick Jr. crashed my gig and jumped up on stage and started playing with me, and that was pretty cool. I'll have to see if I can find that photo anywhere. I look like I'm just like totally cool, but I'm completely going crazy inside because I was in love with him all through high school. Anyway, another fun thing that happened to me, I was actually opening for Katie Lang at Roy Thompson Hall in Toronto for 2 nights, and she's just one of the world's best voices, I believe. So I was very excited, and I had all these grand dreams about becoming her best friend and maybe singing a duet with her, at least backstage, like really getting friendly with her. And it didn't happen, but somewhere I have this really funny photo of me with her backstage. And that was a pretty great experience. I also sang in Moscow once, one day, one show. And I have somewhere a really fun looking poster with my name in Russian. So I've had some pretty fun experiences in the last 10 or 12 years, touring festivals and playing all over the place. And here in New York, I've played at a lot of big jazz clubs too, Jazz Standard and Birdland and a couple others. But really right now, where I'm getting my most joy, that doesn't make sense, I had this all worked out. Right now, I'm getting the most joy out of playing at 55 Bar once a month with my band. I've been doing that the 3rd Wednesday of every month for a couple of years, and really in the last couple months things started to really click with us, and I knew it's time to go back in the studio and document this.
I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that used to hold me when all of them was there. Oh, I wonder if he's sorry for leaving what we had begun. I guess there's someone for me somewhere, but I still miss someone.
As you know, if you've bought my CDs in the past, I'm really drawn to a wide variety of songwriters. What really draws me to a song is the story within it, and in terms of how a story is told, it's my tendency and my penchant for stories that are told kind of in the micro, sort of nuanced and very, this is a moment in someone's life. And that's what I'm drawn to as a listener too, but definitely that's what I think I can speak to most honestly. And so I love, of course, there's so many great songwriters. It's hard to choose, but right now, currently, I'm singing a song by Paul Simon called Hearts and Bones off of his album by the same name. That is not as well known as some of his other albums, and it's just exquisite. It's just such a unique way of describing the arc of a relationship.
Looking back to the season before, looking back through the cracks in the door. 2 people were married. The act was outrageous, the bride was contagious. She burned like a bride. Oh, these events may have had some effect on the man with the girl by his side. The arc of a love affair, his hands rolling down her hair. Love like lightning shaking till it moans. Hearts and bones, hearts and bones, hearts and bones, hearts and bones.
Joanna Newsom, some of you, I'm sure a lot of you know her. I shouldn't say some of you. She's hugely famous. But when I was first introduced to her, she wasn't as well known, and I would just adore her singing and songwriting and her harp playing, of course. And we're covering, that feels weird to say we're covering, but I guess we are essentially. We're doing one of her songs. It's called Swan.
Down with your bones so white, and watch while the freight trains pound, while they pound at the wild, wild night. Oh, how I would love to gnaw on your bones so white. Watch while the freight trains paw, while they paw at the wild, wild night.
What are the other songs that I'm doing? Well, let me tell you about the songs that I've written. As I said, I really like to be able to tell a story that people can relate to, and I think that everybody can relate to some of the stories that I've told in my songs, at least I hope so. One of them is called Silent Movie, and it's a song about a couple who's finding their relationship kind of being pulled apart, or they have drifted apart. And it leaves the question open at the end of the song, and in terms of whether they will actually make it. Sort of a poignant song, and I wrote it with my husband. We just love the idea of, basically, it's called Silent Movie because I thought about the sensation you have when you're watching a movie, but you're really not watching that movie. I mean, it happens to all of us probably more than we know. You're essentially projecting your story onto the screen.
Do I dream? I see you with me on the screen, playing your last drama. Here's that part where we call it quits again, and we circle around and around and around and around, and the picture is running without the sound, and I think I know how this one ends. What are we doing here in the shadows, watching some stranger's story unfold? All those things I want to say slip away in the silence, and the movie plays on.
I wrote a song called Hearing Your Voice, a lyric rather, for a beautiful piece by Vince Mendoza called Angelicus, and he really was very, very sweet to allow me to write this lyric for his song.
Hearing your voice now on this morning, so unexpected, I never dreamed you'd call. So many years have gone by, it seems too late to even try. How can I forgive you? All you've done wrong. How can I let go after so long? Can I believe when you say you think about me every day? Tears won't wash my doubt away.
Basically, you get the idea. Some original songs by incredible songwriters like Paul Simon and James Taylor, and Joanna Newsom. Some beautiful jazz songs like The Folks Who Live on the Hill, which is just an incredible ballad and makes me cry every time I sing it, pretty much. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get through it tonight without crying. We'll see. That's the thread. The thread through the CD will be these little snapshots of people's lives and ordinary moments in their lives, ordinary and also transcendent. So that sounds pretty fancy, I know. So that's the CD, and I hope that you will like what you hear, and I hope that you will get something from it immediately in this little snippet that intrigues you to want to get the whole package. And I can assure you that it's going to be my best record yet. I absolutely believe that. So that's about the record. I have to stop now because I don't know what to say next.
Picture you on my knees, you for you, you for me, for you and you won't be alone. No one here to see or hear, friends, relation, on vacation, won't tell you no. We on the telephone, midday will break and you'll away. Start to make a sugar cake for me to take for all the girls to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? We will raise a family, a dog for you, a cat